Hi everybody, this is just a quick video announcing the release of my Chicken Gauntlet prototype game for the Gameboy Advance. In my previous video I said I would release the ROM publicly if I got 500 extra wishlists, and that happened, so thank you very much. Alright, onto the game, or well, prototype, because it's very unfinished. This title screen and the sprites for the chickens were made by a friend of mine. I did the backgrounds and the player character, and I later reused the backgrounds for Zwammon. So, from the title screen you can see the basic idea. You're a fox that hunts chickens by day, but by night the chickens turn into were-chickens and they hunt you. Some of this is in the game, but there are only ordinary chickens, and they have very basic behavior, where if you get too close they go straight towards you, like the monsters in Gauntlet. Since most of the chickens spawn right where you start, that can be a little overwhelming. They will harm you if you touch them, and though you can't see actual damage being done, they'll quickly kill you if you touch them for too long. But we can get out of the way. You can also defend yourself by throwing eggs, which happens when you swing the frying pan. Of course that's supposed to be separate, and you were supposed to be able to pick up eggs before you could throw them, but you know, a very fast development, so I just quickly coded the egg throw and the collision for testing. Also, the guy's a cook, not a fox, right? So I was thinking of a chef at first, but a fox is much cooler. I'll try to walk around the level and show it off. It's basically one long loop that will go back to the beginning. So I'll try to show the entire level. There's a wall around this part. I believe that this will lead to a dead end. It's a long way around, but yeah. Here you're supposed to be able to move on, because there's more on the other side of this. But because of the stairs, they have collision, so you can't move through here. Sorry. So we move around. The chickens should only spawn at the start of the level. I haven't done any actual enemy placement. So now there's another way to get to the side of the white tile area. That's through here. And you can see the day-night cycle sort of working. But also, unfortunately, you can't go through here. You can see some of the stuff that's also in the level above there, but that's unreachable right now. As I mentioned in the Making of Zwammon video, this game started with a homebrew competition for the TEL, the Action Replay Company. If I remember correctly, this was 2 weeks of development time, and this version is where time ran out and development halted. It only has one level, and a part of it is closed off because I forgot to turn off the collision on the stair tiles. But there's a sort of day-night cycle going on, which is done by modifying the color palette. There should be some glitchy graphics up here. The level just gets cut off, and what you're seeing there is actual VRAM, so video memory. That's not been initialized, so you just get random garbage. Not sure where this leads us, but let's take the long way around. Oh, it's the same thing. Right. So stay away from the top part. It doesn't really matter, but your screen will start to glitch out. So the idea is basically this Gauntlet labyrinth mixed with a Pac-Man flee and hunt mechanic. In Pac-Man you run from the ghosts until you pick up a power pallet, and then you hunt the ghosts, which was supposed to happen here with the day-night cycle in the labyrinth. The goal was to simply survive and whack all the chickens, throwing eggs and such. Of course, very little made it into the actual game, and the only reason we got this far was because I was already working on a top-down role-playing game. So I reused the tile engine from that. But the controls are pretty bad, and the enemy behavior and the collision is off. And there's no damage feedback or invulnerability. So this plays pretty horrible, but you can sort of see the general idea coming together. You can load the ROM onto a GBA flash card, if you have one. It works on a real Game Boy Advance. For emulators, I recommend Mappy, or perhaps Visual Boy Advance. You can download the ROM from my Google Drive. I've added the link in the comments below. I'll also add the ROM for the Blue Mary GBA demo. Thank you very much for wishlisting my games on Steam. I'll be continuing work on the next game right now.